So yesterday was the Wild Nellies celebration of women held at the Robert McLaughlin Gallery, and today I'm at home just absorbing all of the emotion and the love and the connectivity that came of yesterday's event. It was a really special day, and today I'm just taking some quiet time to reflect on that experience and just really take it all in. Saskia Tompkins performed for us. She told us a beautiful story about her friend Donna, a woman who really impacted her, inspired her, showed her to jump in with both feet and an open heart and just trust, just set your eye on the prize and just go for it. And the close bond that she had with Donna stays with her today. We were also moved by that. And the music that Saskia brings out of the nickel harpa is just extraordinary and must be heard. The melody is so haunting, and I'm going to be looking for more of her music on Spotify. Really excited about that. We also heard from Joan Jyothi Saldana. Her imagery and her photography, her paintings are just a feast for the eye. She talked about a term called liminality. She talked about liminal spaces. She talked about that uncertain phase that we go through when we're on the threshold of a new phase of our life or a new experience. And it was just very encouraging to hear her talk about processing that part of life and moving through that space. And we heard from Carla Sinclair. Wow, just a really amazing documentary about Kate Reid, whose music we're all downloading now. She is a very positive artist. She does a lot to empower artists. She really encourages us to learn about people who maybe walk a different path than we do. To understand and to grow from learning from each other, and again to act on our instincts, and if we're drawn into an art, to just trust that and just go with it and really believe that we can do it. And Carla's talk, her art, her art in the form of film was just so inspiring, and I'm still really thinking about that today. Renee Scory was also with us from the Brooklyn Poetry Society. She's the president of that group. Renee facilitated a creative writing exercise with women who use the services of the Women's Multicultural Resource and Counseling Center of Durham. That's the organization for whom we were raising awareness and funds at yesterday's event. She, as I say, facilitated creative writing. Then she took the creative writing product from that day, and she used the women's words to create found poetry, which we then turned into lines that the audience got to enjoy in the form of a PowerPoint presentation. And as the line scrolled forward, people in the audience were compelled to stand up and read a line. So we were hearing the beautiful words of these women read in the voices of other women, but also of men. And it was just, it's called a ghost reading. That's the process. And again, just an extraordinary and powerful experience to hear that happening. We'll be sharing that video with the WMRCC, which is the acronym for the organization. And hopefully they'll have that up on their website, and perhaps you'll be able to enjoy that. We also heard from Britta Bedour, spoken word poet. Wow. Her words and her delivery are so powerful. She is the go-to spoken word poet for empowering women, the go-to poetry for when we are feeling maybe vulnerable, when we were feeling weak, whether we're mature or younger women searching for our voice, shaping ourselves, discovering who we are and what we're all about. It's just really powerful work that will resonate with people. And if you just Google her name, you'll find her work on YouTube. It's just beautiful. We heard from Gretel Bosa as well, ceramic sculptor. her work is stunning. You can find her on Instagram in particular. Last name spelled, it's Gretel, last name spelled B-O-O-S-E. Her sculpture work is very woman-centric and full of meaning, and really worth the trip online to go and see. Gretel shared beautiful stories with us that largely centered around creativity, continuing creativity and into adulthood, and exploring different avenues of creativity. She talked about something called the Mum Project by a woman, instituted by a woman who she really admires. And interestingly, a number of my friends have been involved in the Mum Project. It happened some years ago, but still that experience really resonates with people. The women, it was a group of women not particularly experienced in drama, who got together, shared their experiences as women and daughters, and created a piece of drama, which they performed under this the founder's guidance. And Gretel talked to us about how strong the union and the bond of those women was at that time, and how it continues to be so today. And her point being that when women get together, we really can accomplish great things, and that it takes these unions and these, or maybe a better phrase is these coming together of women in a strong group with a focused purpose to bring change to the world. So very inspiring for me as creator of the Wild Nellies, and a great thing for me to continue thinking about. We were also inspired by Gatika Dance Company. 3 young women danced, and the shaper of their performance, Pramika Leo, also an actress featured in the Titan series on Netflix. Wonderful, right? And she's from Ajax. She got up to speak. Pramika had a very powerful message about the fact that it's not just a Shiro who she pays tribute to, but a singular woman who impacted her, but a series of women that she didn't necessarily meet. They are women of her ancestry, women who, despite colonial rule, were very revolutionary in perpetuating cultural practices, even at great physical risk and emotional risk to themselves. And they are a true tribute, because their activism, although they didn't call it that at the time, has continued forward in the strength in Pramika, and also the continuation of cultural practices and belief systems that may have been lost. So that was a real blessing, and just a shout out to Pramika, a big thank you for bringing that forward and talking about that. I learned a lot, and my heart was really moved by the whole thing. So thank you so much. And I was the final person to read that day. I write short memoir pieces to share some of my experiences in domestic abuse and in that part of my life, to try to bring some empathy, some understanding to people, that when a woman leaves that situation, the journey is not over. It's about the recovery of self-confidence, ridding herself of self-doubt, finding strength, rediscovering who she is, and moving forward. And I just really want to thank everyone who was present yesterday. I really felt your love coming to me and your support, and it was an amazing thing. I'm still just vibing on that today, honestly. It was a very affirming and very empowering experience for me as well. That's the wonderful thing about Wild Nellies events. Any energy that I put out to bring folks together comes back to me a millionfold in love and learning. So thank you to everyone for that. And also a big shout out to Georgia Fullerton, who was a co-MC with me yesterday. Georgia, if you're not aware, is a fine artist and an art therapist. She does extraordinary work. She has a huge heart and a vibrant presence, and she just gave out a lot of love and created a lot of connectivity yesterday. And I couldn't have asked for a better person to usher the audience through the event than Georgia Fullerton. So lots of love to you, Georgia. Big shout out for sure. And of course, I've got to thank the Robert McLaughlin Art Gallery for their incredible support in allowing us to come in and utilize their space for the event. If you've not been, you really must visit. It's a beautiful space. It's so welcoming, and there's so much gorgeous art there. I particularly need to thank Donna Raitson-Kemp for her continued support, and also Syra Knowles, of course, for her continued support, and for both of these women's vision in what the Wild Nellies, for sharing in our vision of what the Wild Nellies is all about, and we just really, really appreciate them. I also want to thank Samuel Powlis for all of his technical support with the sound and the projection. We really appreciate that so very much. And also to RMG's Ingrid Forster for her excellent promotion and communications, through the pre-work before the event came to life. And thank you so much to Ingrid too for the photography that she's doing. I'd like to thank Empty Cut Media as well for videoing the event, and also for the beautiful photography that they're sending our way. We are ever so grateful. So, and I guess the last people to thank are all of the wonderful people who have supported the Wild Nellies by sharing the event, by liking and commenting on our posts. Thank you so very much. You can continue to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much to the beautiful audience who was present at the RMG yesterday as well. You completely energized me. You completely energized the artists. We have great affection for you, and we're so grateful that you chose to spend that part of your day with us. Oh, and of course, the charity that we worked with. What extraordinary people. They give, they give, they give to help women escaping domestic abuse. So thank you so much to Esther and Yolu, to Keisho, for their wonderful words. Thank you so much to Maggie Perriton for your wonderful words of thanks as well. To all the people, the vendors who sponsored the event through the giving items to the silent auction. And lastly, thank you so much to the artists, the extraordinary artists who donated work to the silent auction in order to support these women. That would be Kathy Marks, metal artist Wynne Walters, and also Gretel Boza, who was with us yesterday, all donated lovely art pieces. So anyway, I'm going to end there. Thank you to all of you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And we look forward to sharing more news with you in the future. Thank you so much.